10 long.
I know to smoke.
I'll smoke it for you if you no.
No, I'm trying to.
I just figured it would be rude not to offer you a light.
It's nice, but I'm trying not to. And I feel if I
Sitting there with a cigarette.
I feel if I took one puff. I have an oral fixation, my doctor tells me, which is not good.
How did he know that?
I was sucking his cock. I was sucking it.
Do you think this to be a funny thing, or do you really have to kind of
I'm doing
feel?
it. No, I feel that I have an oral fixation. You know about that.
I don't have that, by the way.
If it's
I don't
not
like
this, I go straight. You don't like sucking cock?
I don't like sucking cock. I mean, I have done it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. You know why I wouldn't like it?
Why?
Aren't those animals, like inside the cum? Like, I remember.
The sperm, you mean?
Yeah. So to me, like, it's a bunch of animals and stuff.
You know, all afternoon, as we do this, you've been playing on and off with a cigarette. Do you smoke?
I quit smoking a year ago.
Good for you.
Thank you. You quit smoking?
Yeah.
And you, when you smoked at the Tomorrow Show...
We puffed. We didn't smoke. We puffed.
You probably caused many children to start smoking.
So you hold a cigarette and you never light it?
Yes, it helps me. I have an oral fixation, the doctors tell me. That never... I'm like Beretta.
He anchors the Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and he has recently quit the nasty habit of smoking. Norm Macdonald. Norm! Now, you're a young iconoclast, Norm. You know, the kids, they get you.
What? I was going to wear a suit, and
I don't need to. I like this whole D.B. Cooper look for you, man. This is... Now,
is he the guy that jumped out of the plane?
No. He's married to Alice Cooper. Now, the thing remember you wrote for my first talk show?
Yeah, you gave me my first
And I used
job.
to come in the room, and you and Drake Sather had no lights on. It was like some fucking Anton LaVey Satan cult in there. And you guys used to turn out the sickest jokes ever. And everybody was always smoking. Then I see you on Saturday Night Live during the opening credits. And one of the things I like about you is you're completely unfiltered on that show. You'll say anything. And I saw in the picture you had a cigarette in your mouth. I thought, this guy just doesn't give a shit. So I asked you to come on. I find out you pussed out on me and quit smoking. What is that all about?
No, because it's bad for you. They have these fucking things on the side. You have to read the fine print where it says, it's bad.
Now, when did you first start smoking?
I started smoking when I was a kid, like when I was, I think I was like 14, and I thought, I'll look really cool, like if I start smoking, because I didn't get along with anybody. So I started smoking. Wouldn't you know it, I did look cool. All of a sudden, all these broads like me and everything. Not broads, but ladies, girls, women. And it was hard though, man, because I was guilty about it all the time I smoked, because I always thought, I always knew it was bad for me, you know? Like, even though some guys will say that it's good because their uncle lived long or something and he smoked, and they'll go, hey, what about, that old guy, Bert Mustin, what about that guy, And then he just because he lived long, that doesn't mean anything, right? That's just one guy. You can't, just because Bert Mustin lived long, you're all of a sudden...
You did your master's thesis on this, didn't you? Now, did people bother you a lot when you're smoking? Were people pissed off when...
Yeah, people don't like when you smoke, they're bothered. Like, I gotta admit though, secondhand smoke is bad. Like, when I smoked, I didn't like secondhand smoke. Yeah. I like that first-hand smoke because you get to suck it right out of the cigarette, And the secondhand, any fucking thing that's already been ingested by someone is not as good, You know what I mean? Like a pork sandwich is delicious, but after a digested pork sandwich, that's fucking shit.
You can't fight that logic, Norman. You cannot. Do you think advertising brings kids to smoking? They had a lot of fight with the Joe Camel thing. Do you think they really?
Yeah, definitely they got it. Because the thing is this. The advertisers, they got to go after kids because they're not going to get adults. Like, there's not gonna be a 50-year-old guy going, hey, I should start smoking. That goddamn camel. Look at him. They gotta get little children.
Joe Camel.
Yeah.
That's a frightening looking beast.
He looks like a cock. I read it. Yeah. I didn't make this up.
And I know you don't mind first-hand cock, but
You don't know that. Don't say that. I know how this stuff happens, man. Because a buddy of mine worked on Saturday Night Live, and he said he was a fag once as a joke. And then he said everybody comes up to him and saying, "Are you a fag?" Gay man? I mean.
show about smoking. They thought you meant the British word for cigarette. All right.
Exactly. Can I bum a fag? That's what they say in England.
Where else? All right.
The thing about Joe Campbell looking like a cock, Dennis.
Oh, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Thanks for bringing me back.
Is this. This is what I've noticed. He doesn't even look like a fucking camel. He looks so much like a cock. Because you know how it's usually subliminal?
Yeah.
Where you have to find the cock, right? This character, you have to find the goddamn camel.
Yeah, believe me, when you only get 2 humps out of a cock, it's not worth smoking. All right, now, line 2, we got a phone call for you. Although I can't believe they'd still be on the line after this departure. Line 2, we've got Beverly from Middletown, Ohio. Beverly?
Yeah, hi, Dennis. Hi, Norm.
Hi, you didn't know my name, I don't think.
Yes, I did. I watched Saturday night.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
I liked it when Dennis was on it.
Yeah, I did too. I watch Dennis every Friday.
Get out of here. You're great at that, man. You're great at this. You know why? Because you don't give a shit about Dennis. You know what I mean? It's like the best thing you can do. Whenever I'd go on, they'd go, what's it like following Chevy? And I like Chevy. He makes me laugh. I mean, what the fuck do I think about Chevy? I'm trying to make a living here.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I see you, I know you're thinking the same thing. Like, screw Dennis. I'm killing. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, since nicotine is such an addictive drug, do you think someday you'll have to have a prescription to buy a pack of cigarettes?
Well, you know, they always bring up the Constitution and talk about how we should still have the right to a militia and all that. But let's face facts, this country was built on tobacco growers. So, you know, if you're going to start changing, if you're not going to change one thing because it comes from way back then, you can't change this either. There are farmers out there who make a living. Tobacco is one of the crops that got this country going. So, no, I don't think they'll ever make it illegal.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't make it illegal. I know.
I think Norm's backing me up on that. What motivated you to quit?
Well, I guess I read this thing about how it was like a phallic symbol, and that my doctor went in. He said, you probably have an oral fixation, which you know what that means. Let's not kid ourselves, right? So that's why I always smoke like cigarettes instead of cigars, because if I'm gonna have I like a little white thin cock, you know?
Are we back to cocks again? I go away to Ohio, Middletown, the center of the universe, to take a nice clean call, and then I space out. I'm thinking, I can't listen to Norm for a second. I gotta get a time cue here. I come back and you're talking about having a thin white cock in your
I don't have a thin white cock. In my cock, you mean?
No.
In my mouth. No, you misunderstand. What I'm saying is this. I'm just saying
Don't make the mistake of thinking I fucking listen to you.
I just want to make it clear about that cock thing. I was just saying, if I ever was gay, if they suddenly made it mandatory or something, then I would choose the smallest cock, and I would like a guy that came fast. I don't know. I thought the subject was cock.
No, cocks is next week.
I'm sorry. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what do you think of that intro, that Lee Iacocca joke? I wrote it. Well, good to be here, eh? I quit smoking. You ever try to do that? Man, that's a tough thing, huh? Smoking ever since I was a kid. I always remember smoking, you know? Remember one time I was a little kid, I was 6 or 8 or 10 or something like that, or 4, or some even number. And I was behind a garage. I was sneaking a cigarette back there, sneaking a cigarette behind my garage, and my dad caught me. I'll never forget it. His big head. I may forget it one day, I don't know, but I remember it now. You never know what you're going to forget, you know? Ravaged by syphilis, you know, in your later years, you might remember nothing. But, you never see a guy ravaged by syphilis anymore. You ever notice it? No excuse for that. His big head came around the corner of the garage there and caught me. There I was sneaking my cigarette, and he hauled me in. I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, you know? What he did is he pulled out his big cigar. Must have been half the size of my arm, this giant cigar. Stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it all the way through, right to the end. And that's when I started smoking cigars. So that plan didn't work out too good there. And there was another time I remember, now that I'm thinking about it there. I was behind my garage again. As luck would have it, there I was, smoking a big fat joint back there. Don't do drugs. And my dad's big head showed up again. And he hauled me in. I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, you know? But injected me with heroin. That's him, right there. Can you believe something like that would happen? He was a strict man, I'll tell you that right now. He's strict but fair. Tough but cruel. His toughness was more than offset by his cruelty. Oh, man, but you gotta quit smoking. Hey, otherwise, you're gonna be an old guy, and then unhealthy, sick, and everything like that. Although some guys don't. You ever meet those old guys, doesn't matter what the hell they do to themselves? You know, they still grow old. Be the oldest bastard you ever met in your life, you know? I go, every day I smoke 4 packs of cigarettes. I drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, and I hit myself in the head with a shovel every day. I'd like to die. I can't die, I can't see. One time I put a shotgun in my mouth, blew the whole back of my head out. Just a slight ringing in the ears or something.
Total dumb luck.
Crazy.
On 2 separate occasions, Norm sat right next to me. He's like,
What a treat.
I can't believe this is happening
What
again.
a treat.
Yeah, it was. The last one was hilarious. We have this long conversation. We're having a great old time. And he's telling me, yeah, I quit smoking. And I don't like to smoke anymore. It's just terrible. It's so hard to quit, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
We land, and he immediately walks right into a gift shop and buys cigarettes. And he goes, I changed my mind. I want to start smoking again. And he's lighting before he gets out the door. I mean, he's so impulsive. He's like lighting
like
as he's walking towards the door. I'm like, whoa, like, Norm, what are you doing? He goes, yeah, I guess I smoke again. But that's, you know, there's people out there that are like pretending to be wacky.
Right. He's really wacky.